Good evening. Welcome to day 6. Just double checking. Yeah, day 6. Still in week 1. Almost at the end of it, of my 6-week mindfulness journey. Thanks for joining me again if you've returned. And yeah, I'll just do a quick recap then on what yesterday's activity was talking about. It was sidestepping the mind. So making a list of 5 activities, 5 playful activities in fact. And it's saying, yeah, it must be things you do without trying to achieve anything, or getting anywhere in particular. Once you've made your list, it's saying set a timer for 15 minutes, no interruptions allowed, and enjoy. Do the activity the way a 5-year-old would, with no consideration that something else might be a better use of your time. So yeah, hopefully some of you managed to do that. If you didn't get a whole list, then fine. I didn't particularly have a list today, but I think probably the 2 main things, and I didn't really have a time limit on them anyway. I'm lucky that I've got the time off with my daughter throughout the half term, so she's learned to ride her bike without the stabilisers, so she's been off and doing that. So yeah, I was just loving those moments of her doing that today. And then, as I mentioned in the video yesterday, probably one of my favourite things, or our favourite things, I think, is dancing and singing about. So yeah, we had what was it, a Disney soundtrack on this afternoon, and we're having a bit of a dance and sing to that, so great. But again, I didn't necessarily time that, I just kind of enjoyed those moments, and yeah, that's what it is. And actually, I suppose on the flip side of the terrible weather, obviously you're not going to get out in it much, especially in the rain that was about this morning. Thankfully the wind's died off a little bit, but yeah, if you get those opportunities staying inside, then yeah, you should have many times where we can do these short activities, or just let them last as long as you want them to. Anyway, on we go, and jumping straight into the day 6 section. It's called Mindful Past, Skillful Future. Talks of mindful planning. It might seem odd that a practice that denies the reality of time can improve mental abilities like memory, thinking and cognitive processing. Yet you will find that when you sharpen your focus to this instant in your life, your ability to remember and learn from the past will flourish, as will your skill in anticipating and planning for the future. Yeah, interesting. I suppose it just kind of makes your mind clearer, doesn't it? You're focusing on what you're doing in the moment, and it's your mind's in a bit of a state of stillness, I guess. It can remember stuff, and in fact, actually, that reminds me of times where I've happened to have usually been looking for something that I've misplaced, and I've found, and this is literally a few seconds, that I've just stopped, actually physically closed my eyes, just stilled my mind and calmed down in that moment, and then suddenly I get I don't even know what it is, it kind of just pops into my mind. It's like, oh, this is where you last saw it. That's usually what I'm trying to remember, and usually when I'm trying to remember it, it never quite seems to come, or it's in some recess of my mind. However, I found that, yeah, just literally, taking a breath, closing my eyes, and again focusing on that last place I know that I saw it, can help out. So there you go. That may be something that you people, those of you watching, may want to use. I don't know. It's up to you. Anyway, of course, as it's mentioned previously, and it's harking back to here, the future doesn't really exist. It's just that this now changes shape. That's an interesting way of looking at it, yeah. So the author prefers to call it the next change instead of the future. Yeah. Either way, there's a certain skillfulness in planning and learning that arises when you are present right here and now. It talks here now of an ice hockey champion, someone called Wayne Gretzky, was by far the greatest of all time in his field, and was well known for his ability to anticipate where the puck would end up next. Far from the fastest skater, he he was instead the best reader of the present moment. The author says here that they would confidently guess that when Mr. Gretzky was on the ice, he was intently focused on the present moment, completely alert and aware in the instant. When you spend long periods of time engaged in an activity in this state, you begin to see the patterns and learn to read the next move required. And we can all live like this. I've actually found there's those sorts of moments where I feel personally, anyway, I'm the only one in the car, but driving along in my car, I seem to anticipate things. I feel quite well in advance. I'll spot maybe the tiniest bit of a car that's pulling out behind another one. I'll be able to slow down, and I find that I guess those moments I'm driving mindfully. I recognise driving possibly one of the most common activities where actually you can probably let your mind wander, or you sort of go, I know that I've done it, into I've forgotten the word now. Autopilot. I nearly said overdrive. That's not what I meant. But yeah, your mind goes into kind of autopilot, and perhaps you'll go over a couple of roundabouts, pull out of some junctions, and then suddenly your mind snaps back, and you think, "Oh God, how did I get here?" Which is slightly worrying, I would say. Anyway, it says this type of approach is quite different from the usual way, because it is not a thinking process. It's a process of watching closely and responding almost instinctively to what arises now. I've just mentioned about driving my car, and this, I swear I haven't read all through this in advance. I'm literally reading this along with, well, obviously those of you watching aren't reading it, but I'm experiencing it at the same time, pretty much. Driving your car with careful attention is an example of this. Over years you learn to anticipate what other cars may do, exactly what I've just said, how the curve of the road may affect your steering and how hard to brake. As you drive, there is no need to think about what you are doing, which is why so many people daydream from A to B. Again, another thing that I've just said. But if you stay alert and focused, you will find that skillful, safe driving happens quite naturally, and that it is quite enjoyable. I would concur with that. I do actually find driving in general quite enjoyable, and in fact, it's a driving job that I've recently got. So I'll be driving every day. Well, probably not every day, but there you go. This can easily be applied to whatever you do on a day-to-day basis, but you have to be present. When you get lost in thought, it says it's very difficult to learn from the moment, because lost in thought, it's very difficult to learn from the moment because we already know. We know what is best, what should be, and what's wrong with this moment. And these judgments can cut us off from the ability to watch, listen, and learn. Observe the next time you start judging another driver on the road. Guilty of that, I think we all are, and see how this reduces your awareness of what you are doing. Yeah, I think I could vouch for that as well. Lost in the fog of the mind, most humans are only dimly aware of what's happening around them because there is so much noise going on inside them instead. The following exercise shows a different way, an approach to being mentally sharp every single day. So I think we're actually up to there you go, onto the activity already. Oh, this might be the shortest section yet and the shortest video. So the activity here is mindful remembering, skillful planning. Bear with me, I'm trying to keep this book in the light. Take a moment to remember a difficult experience from the past few weeks. Pick something that was challenging but that isn't a source of serious pain or trauma. Take a few minutes to look back on that experience or event and feel yourself breathing at the same time. Don't try to gain anything or learn anything, just breathe and reflect and allow any insights or learnings to arise by themselves. Now bring to mind something you would like to do in the coming weeks, like a project, a trip or an excursion somewhere, rather than agonising over what you will do and what might go wrong. Sit, breathe and allow the idea of that activity to sit with you. Take a few minutes to enjoy the process of breathing and sitting with an idea, a plan that isn't yet formed. Allow any insights about how you might approach this activity to bubble to the surface, and don't worry if they don't. Just sit and enjoy. The author just finishes off this little section here saying this is their way of planning and learning from the past, and they have found some surprising results. Plans make themselves when they allow them to, and past learnings bubble away without any effort. Because of this, they're able to learn and improve more than ever before, and approach their work, personal life. They learn and improve more than ever before in their life. Oh, and their approach to work, personal life, just life really, is virtually unflappable, and it feels so peaceful. The world has taught us that stress and hard work are the way to improve things. Yeah, I would say that's correct, and that's just not the case. I mean, stress by itself can lead to all sorts of health issues. I don't think we really even know the kinds of things stress can set off. But practice these skills this week, and you may well find that the opposite is true. So yeah, that's the end of the day 6 section. As I say, it's been a very quick one. And actually, I want to leave you with just something from I mentioned yesterday. There are some short mindfulness exercises that I like to do, there's a book that I read them from, but it also has some kind of nice little inspirational quotes or that kind of stuff in. There's some poems as well, so I'm gonna share this one with you this evening. It's called An Invitation. When anxiety hovers above your light and shadows and all your actions, please do not fear them too much. I would like to remind you that life has not forgotten you. It is holding you by your hand and will not let you fall. Why do you want to shut out of your life any uneasiness or any depression? For after all, even though you do not know where all of this will lead, these experiences may lead to the change that you are always hoping for. Some lovely words there, I think. I will leave you with that. All it remains is me to say thank you for watching this video. If you're enjoying these, please come back again tomorrow. And yeah, that would be great. Like the video, comment if you feel the need to. If there's something that resonates with you, that would be great to know. Share it with family and friends. Also subscribe to the channel if you'd like to. And yeah, that's it for today. Take care all, and much love.